As promised, it took me a while, but here's my difficulty 6 clears at the C0 investment for this Stygian rotation. And this time around it was really hard, maybe the hardest Stygian so far at this investment. I had to learn a new Mav Combo, yes, another one, and this one is super weird and chaotic, especially with the inputs needed, but it looks cool and pushes a lot of charge attack damage really fast. The builds will be at the end of the video, but before I show you the runs, I want to say that this is not a guide nor a video trying to prove that this is achievable, or that you need any of the characters or weapon used. I simply enjoy trying hard in this type of content and I want to share it with you. That's it. If you find a cool tech or rotation that helps you clear, all the better. If not, enjoy my yapping over hours and hours of footage condensed in a few minutes. The first run is going to be the most expensive one, since everyone is still a C0, but with their signature weapon. And oh man, this was so annoying to understand. I took massive inspiration from a content creator on Bilibili, I will link in the description, but just coming up with this rotation is actually insane. You can see a bit of the new Mav Combo here, but very poorly executed. That's on purpose, because otherwise I do too much damage and I can't get all the nukes off with Moalani. The entire point of this run and team is to somehow make both Moalani Vape and Mav melt, but without totally resetting the rotation. And here you can see the new combo. Honestly, it's so weird and hard to explain, and I gotta say that this is not like the other combos. It's more like a glitch. My inputs are not what you're seeing. I don't do a charge attack, dash, and then another charge attack. I actually charge twice and input my dash almost together, but technically right after, and what comes out is 2 charge attacks with a dash in the middle. It really feels like cheating how much charge attack damage and how fast I can do it. But it looks cool, it's strong, and you can even coordinate with some melts from time to time. I haven't fully mastered it yet, but it was good enough. This run also made me hate both Moalani and Zillali. I could make a 1-hour compilation of Moalani totally flying away from the boss for absolutely no reason, and I could make a 2-hour one of Zillali randomly applying cryo when not needed. Like, I know there is no RNG involved in her kit, but it's really annoying to work around when the rotations are not the same thing repeated over and over. And that's the difficulty of this team and this boss. You cannot just do the same thing over and over. In this clear, almost every rotation is unique and it might look about the same or done casually, but that's not the case at all. All in all, I have to admit, it was very satisfying to get. The second run I'm showing you is the Varesa one. This is the one that took me the longest, but I'm glad I got it before Flint's released. Not having signature weapons on Inef and Janun really makes this boss difficult. I do not recommend anyone to try this unless with constellations or nothing better to do for a while. The builds are pretty simple, signature and plunge set on Varesa, Janun on VV and Atlas, but for anyone with Oathsworn I know that that's pretty much the same amount of stats. It was just better for my build to run Atlas. Furina has a very simple Favonius with a Tenacity, and finally Nefa is holding Scarlet Sands with a mix of artifacts with lots of crit, EM and attack. Varesa and Janun were the most tricky to build right, since they both need a pretty precise amount of energy recharge without sacrificing damage on Varesa and attack on Janun. Then it's just a matter of repeating the same rotation over and over, which was another tricky part to realize and managing the cooldown of Varesa. Generally you will want 2 skills into a plunge and then 2 normal plunges given by Janun. However, during the first shield phase it gets really weird since every time you destroy one, you actually get a bunch of energy, which is great for Varesa. For anyone struggling with this boss, I would say it's pretty normal. I have done already a fair share of Stygian hubs for my viewers on stream, and this is often a major roadblock. Yes, you can ignore all the mechanics and just bring a ton of damage, like with Skurk or some overload teams, but you really need a lot of extra damage. Electrocharge comps are not on everyone's account, and those tend to do better. On a side note, I hate how Novilat feels against this boss. I find him to be pretty annoying and not that strong, especially when played without a shield and resistance to interruption. Anyway, this Varesa clear took me a while, but we got it. We are left with the Lauma clear, and I guess there is no real point in showing this. It's just me spamming Hyperblooms without a set rotation, and it was really my first try on the boss. Lauma and this enemy not being that tanky makes it almost a joke. Also, there is a cool trick that I low-key predicted that someone would do in my Stygian guide. Since the seeds increase any damage taken and deal it directly to the boss, you just focus on Lunar Bloom damage and get it amplified directly on the enemy. I didn't think he would go this hard, but anyway, coming back to my run, the characters here are all on 4-star weapons. Llama actually still doesn't have maxed out talents, nor event weapon, but again, this is really easy compared to the other teams. Eventually, I will try the Lunar Bloom strat and get a lower timer on my clear. And that was it. Let me know if you're interested in a video tutorial on the new Mav Combo, and if you're looking for help clearing your Stygian, that's what I'll be doing on my almost daily streams here on YouTube and Twitch. I have already helped quite a few getting their Fearless and even Dire from time to time done. So come hang out if you want. Thank you for watching and see you next time.